Hey guys, welcome back. Another day, another Transformers figure. This time is Windblade from the Cyberverse universe. At least that's what the box says. This is again more figures from the Transformers Legacy United line. So it's looking really good here. No plastic window, so they got rid of those. You've got Windblade here, and here she is doing a pretty cool pose with her sword. You've got the 40th anniversary Transformer artwork and logo there. And on the back, you've got the figure, 16 steps to transform her into her jet mode. And you've got her holding her sword. So this looks really cool. Not too familiar with Windblade other than the when she appeared, I believe, in some of the animated shows, or at least in one of them. But overall, just happy that again, Legacy is providing us all these different figures to get acclimated with, and this one does look really cool. So I'm going to open this up and see what Windblade here is all about. Okay, so here we are with Cyberverse Windblade out of the box. Nothing too special in here. You don't get a lot of accessories, and you do get your instructions. Transformation is not too complicated, so you probably just need to do a once over on these, and you should be good to go. Box will move out of the way. Again, the only other accessory that you get is this cool little sword here with this, I'm going to call it this purple energon type look here. It's got some nice detailing, some nice ridges, and it's clear purple plastic, so it looks really nice. The hilt here looks to be I guess clear plastic that was painted black, but it looks really nice overall. A really nice accessory. I think it fits this character pretty well. Let's move these out of the way. As far as Windblade herself, she looks pretty cool, which was my main reason for wanting to get this character. I don't know much about it. Actually, the reason why I even know this character is through Combiner Wars, which is not a show that's really well regarded, let's just say, but this is a cool little figure nonetheless, and I think she's been in a couple of comic books as well. Looks really nice. Again, you've got that really nice red detailing there with the light blue touches. The face, what I really do like about this figure is the face detailing. They've done really nice around the eyes with that red and the blue, and the lipstick just looks really cool. While we're on the topic of the face here, one other thing that you do get in the box is this gold headpiece that I'm pointing at right here. This is a separate piece. It actually goes tabbed in to the back of the head here, and I mentioned that because it was actually wrapped in tissue paper along with the sword, and it's really tiny. I almost threw out the tissue paper without getting this out, so I'm glad I noticed it. And I'm just mentioning that because, again, if we do happen to get this figure, just make sure you get this out of the tissue paper there, so you're not missing a part of your figure. And I think that kind of does complete the look of the face. We keep going down through the figure. You get a lot of red, which looks really cool. You got the gray, dark gray torso, the black biceps or arms, and same thing here on the legs. And then you got the whole red and gray and black with some blue accents going down. But the figure is painted really nice, and the sculpt, I think I really do like it. It's very slender, and again, I think that fits the character really well. Going on through the back here, she does have a bit of a backpack, so it does stick out there. It doesn't bother me quite as much because it looking at it from the front, they do a good job of hiding that backpack pretty well. But it is there, and if you look at it from the side, she is carrying quite a backpack there. On the back, no hollowness other than the little holes here on the arms, but it's nothing too bad, and I think again they've done a great job. I especially like the wings here, the detail around the wings with this I forget what these are called now, these turbines or whatever you want to call them, on both sides are done really well. And I love the matte black here with the red. But overall, the sculpt and paint on this figure are pretty good. Very top notch. As far as articulation, the wings do move. So you can move them You can also move them in and out if you wanted to, just be really careful. The head fully, for the most part, you can turn it fully around. She can look up quite a bit. She can't really look down too much. The arms, again, if you get the wings out of the way, you can get some pretty good range. Just be really careful not to break anything there. You can extend the arms out as much, and you can turn them around here by the bicep. Again, the elbows are definitely 90-degree there, and the hands here, you can fully turn them around. The hands are not articulated, so that's something to keep in mind. Doesn't bother me too much. The waist, you can fully turn her around a full 360. So again, that's cool if that's something you're looking forward to. The legs, you can kick forward just about that much before the waist piece here gets in the way, and then she's definitely got probably about 90-degree of knee bend, and then the leg can go pretty much a good ways out back, as you guys can see there. So that's really cool. And you do have a bit of a ball joint action here. You guys could see, well, not a ball joint, but you can turn the leg fully around here, so that's cool. And then the ankle, you do get some ankle action there, and you can move the toes like kind of back just about, so you get some really good range. So again, overall pretty happy with Windblade here. I think she's a fine addition to my Autobot ranks here. Now, as far as transformation, so relatively simple, I will say. It does suffer from a bit of the body and the arms sort of just sitting on the bottom there, but I'll show you that in a second. So essentially, what you're going to do is make sure these arms are down, these shoulders, make sure that they're tabbed flush, flat like this. Move these wings slightly down. You're going to be moving these wings quite a lot, so just make sure they're like sitting like that. Then we'll go back here. First thing to do is this little pointy section. Just fold it down, then take this and you're going to separate it. It's going to look something like this, and then you're going to take these sections both on the left and the right, and you're going to pull them out. Essentially, they're in a bit of a pivot there, so same thing here. You're going to take that, and then at that point we are going to fold this over. You'll see that there's two tabs here. They're gonna get tabbed in between the shoulders here in the black sections to the left and the right of her head. So essentially you're gonna pivot this and you're gonna fold it so that those tabs kind of sit flush in there. At that point, you could take these two sections and you're gonna see tab, 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 and they're gonna tab all in there. So you just pretty much join them, and boom, at that point you are kind of done with the whole cockpit and front section. These wings that were down, you're gonna slightly angle them up just a bit so they're out of the way. Next thing to do here is we are going to turn this fully around. So turn the waist like that, so you end up with something as such. Then we're going to take these, what is essentially the toes, we're going to fold them all the way down. Same thing here. Then we're going to take, there's these little sections here that are the tail. You're going to just rotate that forward as such, and then you can just join the legs here. Then you're going to take these side little flippers or wings, whatever you want to call them, and just have them sticking out like that. Next would be this whole section. So essentially we're going to take this and kind of fold it in. There's a bit of a trick here, so, well, if you want to call it a trick, but just undo this section and you'll see that the bottom portion here comes undone. We're going to take these and just pivot them around for now so they get out of the way. And then you'll see here there's like a little pivoting that we're going to do. So you're just going to fold this essentially forward as such. Right, and you're going to make sure that these just get out of the way for now. Now you'll see that the hands are kind of sitting there reaching for this little peg here. So just gonna make sure that these hands kind of grab onto these the little peg or whatever you want to call it, so the hands look like that. Then you're gonna come back around here. You're gonna make sure that these wings, there's a little peg there. It doesn't get tabbed in or anything. It just kind of fits nice and flush in there. Just make sure that it looks like that. At that point, we're almost done. And then the last thing to do is these sections that are sort of hanging out here. You'll see that there is a little square here that's going to get tabbed into here, into the black section of the legs. And do the same thing on the other side here. And boom, at that point, you are done with the transformation. So a really cool jet mode. I will say my favorite part is of this mode anyways is this kind of look from the top. It looks really nice. Again, a lot of the red and kind of pops really well, you know, so definitely like this quite a bit. I love the gray here from the legs. You'll see a lot of the black. I love the tail fin. So it's a really cool jet mode. Once you start looking at it from the side, then you'll start seeing a bit of the arms sort of just hanging down. And then if you start to look at it underneath, this is what I sort of mentioned earlier. Her torso and her arms are kind of just hanging there, which is a bit unfortunate, I guess. You know, if you are going to be posting her at a higher shelf, maybe flying in jet mode, you will be seeing a lot of this torso. You know, it would have been nice if they sort of figured out a way to hide some of this, but I'm assuming then that would have added a bit more bulk to the figure. But overall, you know, I'm mostly going to be displaying this in bot mode. The transformation is not too complicated. It's actually relatively simple. And what you do get as far as the jet mode is, I think, is serviceable. So it's really cool. As I mentioned, there is a section here where you can put in a peg. So if you have something like a flight stand, you can essentially, you know, put her in some flying positions there. So that is, again, really cool. I love that about the Transformers that, you know, turn into planes, that, you know, it's always easier to have them, you know, to use a flight stand with them. So that's really cool. The last thing you could do before we go back to bot mode here is you could take this sword and use it sort of like a trail or I guess engine effect. So you will see that this sword here, if I can get it on focus, has clear tabs here. Let's see, like a clear circle on both sides. And then if you open up the legs here slightly, there is a section here by the turbines or the engines where my thumb is, where that will fit in nicely. So essentially you're going to tap that in there. Oh, you're going to tap that in here. See if I can get that in there. And then you're just going to join the legs back again. Just make sure everything's tabbed in, and it'll look something like that. You guys will see. So again, that's something you can do. So it's really cool. They found an alternate way of sort of using that little detail or that little accessory that's a sword to look like some kind of streak as she's flying by in jet mode. So one last thing to mention before we move on, there is some landing gear here, so just want to mention that. So if you go here by the underneath the cockpit or the cone, you can pull this section out, and there is some sculpted wheels on the front. They don't roll or anything, but it does help if you want to sit this figure flat, then she's not sort of leaning forward. So that, again, that is really cool. You do have that option to display as such. Alrighty guys, so comparison time here with Windblade. So let's put her up against the Kingdom Blitzwing, so a triple changer, not even from the same series or anything, but just want to show you guys there for a size comparison. And then why not, let's throw in Armada Megatron. So again, you guys can see how small she is, but I think she definitely looks really cool in comparison to these two giants there. And I think that actually does look pretty cool to my eye anyway. So let's move Blitzwing and Megatron out of the way there. And let's put her next to Tarn and Bludgeon here. Two of the same mold, just different looking. And again, she is fairly small, but again, I think she definitely looks really cool next to these two vicious Decepticons there. So we'll move them out of the way. And why not? Let's do a Seeker here. Starscream. This is the Earthrise Starscream. You guys can see her next to him, and something a little more her size. Here is Bombshell from the Legacy Decepticons, so Insecticons rather. So again, really cool. Nonetheless, so looks pretty awesome. Let's move Bombshell out of the way here, and why not? Let's throw in our mighty leader, Megatron. This is the Siege Megatron with the it's got some kind of animation or cell shading in there. This came out, I think, for the 35th anniversary a while back, but again, just to show you guys what that looks like there. So we'll move those two out of the way, and here she is next to some Autobots, so Defcon and Beachcomber. Again, Beachcomber is obviously a little much smaller from what you could see there, but again, she looks pretty cool. And then why not? Let's move Beachcomber here out of the way, put her next to the Netflix Bumblebee, and then from what I hear, we may be getting a Studio Series Bumblebee, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But as far as Windblade here, I'm actually really happy that I was able to add her to my collection. Again, I'm pretty much a G1 fan, but I'm glad that this whole Kingdom, Earthrise, Siege, and now Legacy, United, or whatever it may be, Hasbro has seen it fit to give us all these different figures from all these different cartoons and shows and comics and moments and whatever it may be, because then it gives me a chance to expand my horizons and get cool little figures like Windblade here. So if you can get her, perhaps you're a fan of Windblade or Cyberverse, I would highly recommend her. I think it's a cool little figure and a great addition to anyone's collection. But anyway, guys, so that's it for me. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, again, feel free to leave a comment. You made it to the end. Again, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next Transformers video. Take care.